Order. We have a roll call, please.
Mr. Downs? Mr. Buffa?
Here.
Mr. Jackson?
Here.
Ms. Jones? Here. Ms. Rogers?
Here.
Ms. Taylor? Ms. Wesley?
Here.
You have your quorum.
The question is, well, what have we been working on? There hasn't been much press about us in the media over the past several years, but we've still been busy and hard at work. We consistently meet as a board every Tuesday of the month here at Carlane School. We analyze policies, we make resolutions on specific school issues. We also monitor local, state, and national educational policies and continue to report to the public on some of these policies. We've also written resolutions on school district issues. Some of these you can find on our website, and we do have a new website that where we'll have the resolutions posted as well. We have, when called upon, we've consulted with the state-appointed board. We also meet regularly with the superintendent to stay abreast of current school issues. We continue to communicate with the public about school district issues. And members of the school board, and this is important, members of the school board have continued on developing their own professional capacities as school board members through ongoing professional and educational development. And this is important for being ready to govern and to return governance to the elected school board and making sure that we're prepared to do that. So along these lines, we have been working on developing a transition report that will be used to inform the public, inform the State Board of Education, inform the Commissioner of Education, and also to advocate for the return to the elected school board as the governance of the school district. And the report, the slides are circulating here. The report in its entirety has also been circulated, so we're just going to be giving a presentation briefly on the major aspects. So a little bit about our current context. So the state-appointed board is in place and has been in place under state statute 162-1100. And under the statute, our elected school board is charged with auditing and reporting to the public. And so we've continued to fulfill this role as per state statute. Right now is a particularly important time in this period of school governance. Commissioner Chris Nicastro has reconvened the Special Advisory Committee to evaluate next steps for the school district. And this committee is charged with giving Commissioner Nicastro recommendations for the district. And so we have met with Commissioner Castro. We've also met with the Special Advisory Committee, and we will be, the SAC will be delivering a report to Nicastro late in September. And so part of what we're asking here of you today is to stay educated about what's going on, but also to help us advocate for a return to an elected school board when that time is right, which will be in the early fall. So just a bit on the methodology of the report. As I mentioned, over the past 6 months, we've been working together, voting on issues that are germane to why the district was taken over in the first place. The reasons being finances, academic achievement, and stability in the district. We've been considering the conditions that are necessary for the school district to be successful. And these are conditions that we feel are important for regaining and retaining accreditation. So to these ends, we have reviewed literature in the area of state takeovers around the nation. St. Louis is not alone in being taken over by the state, so we've looked at how other states have dealt with state takeovers, as well as how they have transitioned back to an elected school board after a state takeover. And we've also reviewed information collected from the district stakeholders during 2008 that pertains to school district level issues. And you can find a review of this information in the full transition report. So right now, we're in a period of collecting feedback from constituents, from stakeholders, from parents, from students, from educators. And this is, we really want to hear from you about our plans in this report. So you can submit feedback to us in person, as you all are here this evening, or by email. We have a board email as well. So a basic summary. Basically, the crux of our argument here in this argument is that we're advocating for a return to a democratically elected school board as the governance structure of the school district. And our transition plan is very simple. And that is for a period of 30 days, beginning 30 days prior to July 1st, 2011, or whatever date the state board suggests to DESE, will be the period in which all district operations are reviewed, updated, and prepared by the MSBA, the Missouri School Board Association, in collaboration with the elected school board for the return of elected governance to St. Louis Public Schools. So at this point, the rest of the report will be presented by my board colleagues, and board member Donna Jones will be talking about why it's important, why democratically elected school boards are important.
Transition to an elected school board, why and how. One of the first major points would be why should SLPS return control to citizens, building local capacity, the importance of local governance, state intervention, is it unsuitable? Considering SLPS in the context of other state takeovers in Missouri. Building local capacity. The SLPS is well poised to return local control to the democratically elected school board because the elected school board has continued to operate under the state statute. This is important because findings from other districts that had been taken over by the state demonstrated that key in the process of returning to local control and for the achievements gained during state takeover was the continued existence of local school boards. So it's very important that you have local school boards that are still functioning even though there might be a state takeover. Democratically elected school boards play an important role in the community. School boards balance community goals and values and making decisions about the education of students and are often more responsive to community needs. And I just wanted to add that many times I think a lot of people feel much more comfortable when you have people like parents and people from the community that they can talk to, that they feel that they have easy access to. A system run by political appointees is fraught with political baggage and runs the risk of governance by people who are not fully committed to public education. A school board member has one responsibility, and that's to public education. An elected school board governs almost every public school district across the state, except for here in Missouri, and that would be St. Louis and Kansas City. State intervention is unsuitable. A state-run school system in the long term diminishes the capacity of a community to govern itself by removing leadership and decision-making from the community. The literature in educational reform clearly demonstrates that changing the management of schools from the elected board to a state-appointed board will not address the complex and difficult instructional problems that require educational expertise, nor the financial and systemic issues that confront urban schools. Considering state takeovers in context, there is very little evidence that suggests that state takeovers have long-term success in stabilizing school districts. What is clear when looking at the effectiveness of the takeovers locally across the nation is that takeovers can moderately impact management and finances, but rarely impact student achievement. Last but not least, how would the district return to local control? For a period of 30 days, beginning 30 days prior to July 1st, 2011, or whatever date the State Board of Education suggests to DESE, will be the period in which all district operations are reviewed, updated, and prepared by the Missouri School Boards Association in collaboration with the elected school board for the return of elected governance to the St. Louis Board of Education.